Good morning. It is day 21 on the OCT. We just left, the dunes. It's 6:30 and we're just about 2 miles in, and that includes about 0.7 of walking out of the dunes. So we had a lovely camp last night. How did you sleep?
Oh, yeah, fine.
It was a nice quiet night.
Yes. Full moon.
Full moon.
Sublime.
Yeah. It's clouded over this morning, as you can see. Part of what you see is mist and clouds, and part of it is just apparently a dirty camera lens. So I'll take care of that later. But we've got an unsure number of miles to do today. Probably somewhere in the range of 13. But we're not sure.
19, depending upon whether or not.
But
Field transport.
Yeah, we have, if we have to walk all the road, it could be much longer. But there's a slim chance that we'll get a boat ride. There's a higher chance that we'll have a bus ride. And if neither of those happen, then we're hoping for a hitch. So that is what's in store. As you can see, again, it's kind of clouded over, a little misty. And we got 5 miles, probably about 4 left to where we have that first decision point of boat or bus. Water crossing. There it is. We knew this was coming, but fortunately it's chilly. Low tide, so it's not backing up from the ocean too much, and so it's just ankle deep. Not bad at all. All right, moving on. We just tried calling the charter again for the ferry, and still no answer. It's been 3 days, so doesn't look good. Well, it's a no bueno on the shut on the ferry, so we are hiking the at this point dirt road. Eventually we give out to 101 and hiking that to the bus stop in Gardner. Is that the town?
Yes.
In Gardner. So we need to get there by 10 o'clock at the latest, I think, to get the bus, which comes just after 10, maybe like 5 or 10 after. And so we got just under 5.5 miles to go, and just about 2 hours to do that. So hopefully we're in good shape to do that. May try to hitch those last 2 miles on 101, even just to the bus stop, if not all the way to Winchester Bay, where we're gonna plan to take the bus to anyway. One bus ride from Gardner to Winchester Bay, and about 7 miles later we are walking on the road again. So we got a short hike down to the Umpqua Lighthouse State Park, which is where we're headed. We got about 2 miles there, and I think we might stop and take a short break before we get there, just to kind of check out the lighthouse and maybe just get off our feet for a few minutes, even though we were just on a bus for a few minutes. So it won't be long now. So we're just sitting here enjoying a nice view in front of the Umpqua Lighthouse, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes. This is just a view that we have here, but apparently, as we listened to the guided tour that we did not pay for, this is a training jetty. It's a triangular shaped jetty that was built by the Coast Guard out here. He said that nobody really knows what a training jetty is here, including the Coast Guard people that are still here. It was built some time ago. I think he said back in the 60s. So not really sure what it is, but it's interesting. Haven't seen a triangular shaped jetty before. All right, the Umpqua Lighthouse, just south of Winchester Bay, Oregon. So apparently this is a Coast Guard facility here, so we are not allowed in there. You can take tours, but we have not set one of those up. But it's still operational. The lens is still spinning up there. Pretty neat. Okay, we have arrived at the Umpqua Lighthouse State Park, and we need to register up here for a hiker-biker site, and then we'll head in and find a place to stay and shower and get all set up and everything, and give you a little tour then of what this place looks like. All right, here we go. Oh, this is lovely. Ain't this? Yeah. All right. Well, this looks like it's home for the night, because why go any farther? This is nice. Got a nice space here, and a big and flat fire pit, picnic table, and a box for food storage. All right, this is the wrap up for day 21 on the OCT. We did, well, our watches say we did 14 miles. So we walked 14.
We did 14 miles.
We did. Yeah. We walked 14 miles. However, officially for the trail, we did 11 point something or other, 8, yeah. So let's see, we were in the dunes last night. Excuse me, and that was, how was that?
It wasn't bad. Fortunately, it wasn't windy. I mean, there was a calm night, full moon, which was nice. At least at some point we had some light as well. It did cloud over, but of course it did. No, I mean the sand. It
was okay.
It was shakeable sand. It was very
right.
dry, so it wasn't like it was sticking to anything otherwise.
Yeah,
we were very careful. I was very careful.
Yes, tried to be very careful. Yes, because it does get into things and everywhere if you're not careful. So, so we kind of checked that box. If we have to beach camp again, we will, but I don't think it's anything that we're particularly, looking to do.
We know that if we camp on the beach as well, we're going to wake up and everything's going to be soaking wet.
Yes.
I mean, that's just undeniable out here. You just wake up and it's misty and humid and overcast.
Right.
So, and it's not like you're waking up to a sunrise.
Yes.
Although last night's sunset, I'm sure, was beautiful.
Probably very nice.
Yeah.
But we were close to a mile from the trail back in the dunes last night. So, anyway, so that's where we started out. So we walked out, back out to the beach in the dark because we started out early. And then we had all beach walking for 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like 5 miles. And that was our decision point. We weren't sure what was going to happen after that because we didn't know yet if we were able to schedule a ferry to get across a body of water. And after several days of calling, we were not able to do that. So at 5 miles, then that was the point where we either had to go straight to the ferry or turn left and go road walk into the town of something. Gardner, yes. So that's what we ended up having to do.
Was it 6.8, something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the first road was a dirt road,
mm-hmm.
Gravel, and it was
about 4 miles, but it felt much longer than that.
It did. It was long and windy, and I mean there were trees just lining it, forested, if you will. So there wasn't really anything to see, and it wasn't particularly, eventful as far as a road. Fortunately, we only passed one car.
Yes.
So that was nice. But yeah, we cruised through that.
We cruised all morning.
We did, and then we got out to back out to Highway 101 and had to do 2 miles on that to get into Gardner, and that really wasn't so bad either.
No, we were walking on the other side of the fencing. There was
on
some,
the guardrail, yeah.
Yes. Until it ran out.
Until we ran out of land.
Yeah. We're like, okay, back on the road.
So, but the problem was we had to get to Gardner by 10:05.
Yes.
I think, when the bus came. Otherwise, we would have had to try to hitch, and by now you should know that we're not fantastic at hitching.
And Oregon's not great at picking up hitchhikers either.
Well, and we're not really on a popular trail like the PCT, so hitching is not necessarily a thing as much as it would be there. But yeah, we had to do basically all those miles. It was, I think I had 12 on my watch, 12 plus, somewhere around there on my watch by the time we got to Gardner.
Okay.
And
I had close to 12.
it was, I don't remember. It was somewhere around there. About
12. 3.5 hours later, we were in Gardner.
Yeah.
So
we cruised. We were moving because we knew we had a timeline. But we got there by 9:30, so that was great. We started just before 6 and got there by 9:30 and did those roughly 12 miles in that time. So, and we made it. And when we got there, we ran into, or whatever, other people waiting for the bus. 3 more PCT hikers. So we were just chatting with them and talking, and had a nice time just talking with them. And it's funny because every OCT hiker we've met was a PCT hiker, or yes. So anyway, so we chatted with them, but then we had a 6.5 mile bus ride, which would have been all highway walking, and not great. It wouldn't have been fun at all.
It wasn't really an option.
Yeah. So the bus took us all the way down to Winchester Bay. Yeah, thanks. And that was...
He didn't prep this time ahead of time.
I didn't, but I still remember the name. That was good. So anyway, so that's where we got off the bus, and
by 10:30.
By 10:30 we were.
So then we're like, okay, now what do we do?
Now what? Yeah, because we were basically done with our day, except the 2 miles to walk to here to where we are now. So we hung out a little bit, walked down to the
Lighthouse and Museum.
Umpqua,
yes.
Lighthouse, which was nice. Sat there and
2 hours.
Yeah, just sat and watched people, and looked out at the ocean and went into the gift shop and had some coffee, and so it was nice. We were just biding our time to get here to the campsite in case we didn't know if we could get in right away. So, but then we walked down here, and it's a lovely campsite. Again,
nice.
Oregon State Park, fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we got here about 2. We were set up.
Yeah.
Showered. By 3.
Yeah. And it's lovely. So I'll show you a little bit about this campsite here in a couple of minutes. So, but that was pretty much it. It was just beach walking and road walking kind of as quickly as we could to get there, so we could get the bus.
Yeah, it was kind of a hurry up and wait situation.
Yeah.
Today.
Yep. So, so all that was good. But then the lighthouse was nice. I'm glad we got to see that. So.
Once again, really quickly, because I said this, there's 2 other hikers who are now here on their PCT, now on the OT. Actually, we met them on the PCT.
We did.
At a campsite one evening. But they're thinking about going back. I think that they're probably going to grab the bus tomorrow to Florence. To go to Eugene to get back on the PCT, because they're not feeling it, which I can understand. It's a very different... The OCT is a very different animal to backpack than any other trail that we've ever experienced before. Just logistically, it's just very... It's a headache to plan. You can't just throw your stuff in your backpack and go, you know? And that's another thing I was going to say is we were done by 10:30 today, essentially 11 o'clock. Right. But we could have hiked more, but there's nowhere to go. Yeah. There's nowhere to camp. Yeah. You know, so we're kind of which is fine. I mean, it's a lovely place. Don't get me wrong, but it's a very controlled backpacking experience that we're having out here. So.
Right. Yep. So So, I mean, so tomorrow, because of that, we are doing 16 miles tomorrow to get out where we will then get a taxi that will take us into the next town. So that's just what happened. So, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for us to go farther today because there really isn't anywhere to stay, and there's very little water.
Yeah.
So you have to go to restrooms and things like that. So
It's tap water.
there's not a lot of that.
Sink water, Jackson.
Yeah,
It's
sink water. Yeah. so that's that. So that logistically, you kind of just have to set yourself up that way and think about it very differently than other trails. So, but yeah. So anyway, that leading into that's our day tomorrow. Yeah, 16 miles. We'll get picked up and go into another town of North Bend.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, North Bend.
It is supposed to rain tonight, tomorrow
yes.
morning. Hopefully it'll stop by the time that we are getting up and
going.
packing up.
Right. So anyway, so there you go. That's day 21 and a preview of 22. So we are probably about 9-10 days of hiking left to this trail, something like that. We have passed 200 miles of hiking on this trail. And today, while on the bus, we passed mile 250 of the trail. So that's just how it's going. So, all right. So that's it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
And here is the campsite. Nothing too exciting, really. This is the hiker-biker site here is really nice. This is one of 2 spots. So this is a large one. You could probably fit a number of tents here, but we've got 2 picnic tables, count them 2, and several places you could actually put our tent. We could probably put our 3-person tent in a couple of spots here, and then there's another one right up through the trees there. Just up through the trees is the main area, and that we walked in earlier today, so I might take a little bit of video of that because we're gonna go take a walk. All right, have a good night.